It's Wednesday, November 19th. In the headlines, New York Attorney General urges United States to grant temporary protected status, TPS, to Jamaicans after Hurricane Melissa. In business news, Pan-Jamaican Group expands deeper into Europe. Regionally, Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamla Persad reassures the public over Venezuela tensions. And in sports, the Reggae Boys miss out on automatic World Cup qualification and head coach Steve McLaren resigns. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. New York's Attorney General is urging the United States government to grant special immigration protection to Jamaicans affected by Hurricane Melissa. The record-breaking storm, the most powerful ever to strike Jamaica, has killed at least 45 people and caused an estimated $10 billion in damage. Attorney General Letitia James has written to the Department of Homeland Security, calling on the Donald Trump administration to immediately grant temporary protected status, or TPS, to Jamaican nationals already living in the United States. She says thousands of families have been displaced and many communities have lost homes, schools, businesses, electricity, clean water, and access to medical care. TPS would allow eligible Jamaicans who cannot safely return home to live and work in the U.S. legally for a limited period. James argues that forcing people back to what she describes as a devastated island would be dangerous and cruel, and notes that the U.S. has provided similar protections to citizens of Haiti, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Nepal after major natural disasters. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, says Jamaica's inflation rate increased in October, but the data does not reflect the impact of Hurricane Melissa. According to Statin, the All Jamaica Consumer Price Index increased by 0.7%. Statin says price collection of the month was done in the first and third weeks of October, before Hurricane Melissa hit the island. That increase was pushed by mainly higher prices for key agricultural items, including sweet potato, tomato, carrot, and cabbage, grouped in the class vegetables, tubers, and plantains, cooking bananas, and pulses. Prime Minister of Grenada, Deacon Mitchell, is underscoring the critical importance of regional unity in times of crisis as Jamaica recovers from the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa. Prime Minister Mitchell was among several CARICOM heads of government and officials who traveled to Jamaica on Monday to visit communities hard hit by Hurricane Melissa. In expressing solidarity with the government and people of Jamaica, Prime Minister Mitchell recalled that support from Caribbean community member states played a significant role in Grenada's own recovery following a major hurricane last July. The tour was led by Jamaica's Prime Minister and CARICOM Chairman, Dr. Andrew Holness.
Rebuilding Jamaica will require all hands on deck. Right, Dayton?
Yes, sir.
But it will not only require Jamaican hands. It will require the hands of our brothers and sisters in CARICOM, in Central America, in South America, in North America, and indeed the wider world, including Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. And it is our intention to mobilize regional and international support to make the work of rebuilding lighter.
The Health and Wellness Ministry has reported that several health facilities across the southern, northern, and western end of Jamaica sustained catastrophic roof and infrastructure damage due to the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton reported that operations have been re-established in St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital, except for its dietary department. However, Cornwall Regional Hospital lost around 200 beds. Falmouth Hospital suffered 65% roof loss, and Savannah Lamar Hospital sustained significant roof, flooding, and storm surge damage. He says health workers have been coordinating teams to clean up areas to provide services needed.
Health workers in the 5 parishes have grouped together to go to the 5 hospitals for a cleanup, expressing solidarity and support to our healthcare workers and others on location in these 5 locations. So we have about 200 or so health staff helping to clean up on the compound of the hospitals, giving support to the local team, and a number of others will be out there. We'll all put on our gloves and help to pick up the pieces and just to give support in the field.
We are in Cornwall Regional Hospital, the ward that lost more than half. This is 7 East, and we are trying to clear the debris so we can bring back some semblance of normal to the area, because the patients are displaced. And as a healthcare worker, I could be stationed here, and I would want somebody to help me so I can do the patient care and they help with the debris.
Tax Administration Jamaica is moving to clear the air following the circulation of a video on social media claiming to update the public on services at the Montego Bay Revenue Service Center. TAJ says the clip, labeled as a public service announcement and dated November 17, is not current. In fact, officials say it's an old recording created for a completely different activity and does not reflect the present situation on ground. In the wake of Hurricane Melissa, TAJ has reopened most of its locations island-wide. However, significant damage in parts of Western Jamaica has forced the continued closure of the Montego Bay Revenue Service Center and several satellite offices as repair work intensifies. The offices still closed include Montego Bay, Darliston, Falmouth, Jacksontown, Lucy, and the Savannah Lamar Tax Office. With those locations offline, taxpayers in Western Jamaica are being advised to visit alternative offices in St. Anne's Bay, Moning, or Brownstown to conduct transactions until further notice. TAJ is also reminding Jamaicans that several online options remain fully accessible for payments and other services. These include the Tax Administration Jamaica website, direct funds transfer, online banking through Scotia and NCB, and the TAJ mobile app. Farmers have been receiving payouts from the Grace Kennedy Weather Protection Program to assist their recovery from catastrophic damage caused by Hurricane Melissa. A group of farmers received a symbolic check representing the total payout during a recent handover ceremony hosted at the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining's Hope Gardens office in St. Andrew. The initiative, administered by GK General Insurance Company Limited, is structured to deliver swift, predetermined payouts triggered by weather events such as excess rainfall, drought, and hurricane force winds. Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's Dive into the top headlines. Pan Jamaica Group Limited today announced its unaudited financial results for the third quarter ending September 30, 2025, alongside news of the acquisition of a majority stake in Frankly Juice, a leading business based in Copenhagen, Denmark, known for its organic, cold-pressed juices through Pan Jamaica Group's European juice group, the Juicy Group. This acquisition significantly strengthens the Juicy Group's presence in the strategically valuable Scandinavian market and supports its mission to offer premium, convenient, and healthy juices across Europe. Jeffrey Hall, Vice Chairman and CEO of Pan Jamaica Group, stated, "The Frankly Juice investment reflects Pan Jamaica Group's ongoing commitment to building world-class consumer brands with a focus on quality, sustainability, and innovation." Frankly Juice has established itself as a trusted name in the Nordic region, and we see tremendous potential to support its growth and bring its values of health and authenticity to even more markets. Beresford Gray, President and CEO of Cygnus Capital, announced that in response to the widespread devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa, Cygnus has launched its Hurricane Relief and Rebuild Initiative, committing US $100,000 toward a broader goal of raising US $375,000 to support recovery efforts across Jamaica's most affected communities. Designed to move beyond short-term relief, the initiative will strategically direct 30% of funds toward immediate relief efforts, including food, clean water, solar lighting, hygiene kits, medical supplies, and agricultural inputs, while 70% will go toward rebuilding and resilience projects across the aforementioned key sectors. Companies listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange reported both growth and challenging financial results this quarter. Jamaica Producers Limited unaudited financials for the 9 months ending September 30, 2025, reports a 116% increase in net profit. Pulse Investments Limited audited financials for the year ending June 30, 2025, reports 34% decline in year-end net profit. Jamaica Fiberglass Producers Limited unaudited financials for the 9 months ending September 30, 2025, reports 14% decline in 9 months net loss. For the trading period ending November 18, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited with 2,337,600 units, representing 13.17% of market sales volume. Carreras Limited with 1,797,928 units, representing 10.13% of market sales volume. Jamaican Teas Limited with 1,253,865 units, representing 7.07% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On November 18, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $48.24 million purchased and US $54.96 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $2.21 per dollar, selling the US at $159.78 and buying the US at $161.99. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $1.72 per transaction, with selling at $115.42 and buying at $113.70. The British pound yielded Forex traders $5.47 in profits, with selling at $206.71 and buying at $212.18. For our credit report tip of the day, When a disaster destroys a business and the owner has no lease, no registration, and no paperwork, the credit report becomes a powerful tool that drives their recovery forward. It verifies identity, confirms past addresses, and shows a clear record of financial activity, giving lenders and relief agencies something concrete to work with. The credit report actively supports them by showing business-related spending through credit card activity, vendor payments, and purchase patterns. This helps establish that they were operating a business even without formal documents. With this information, lenders can take action by approving personal loans, offering emergency credit lines, raising limits, or granting payment relief. Agencies can also use the report to justify microgrants and financial assistance since it demonstrates financial responsibility, payment history, and economic participation. It becomes a substitute proof of livelihood. Most importantly, the credit report gives the business owner a direct path to restart operations. It helps them secure fast capital, negotiate with suppliers, open or reopen accounts, and build credibility as they rebuild. It also positions them to formalize their business once they regain income. In short, when everything else is lost, the credit report becomes the first document that moves their recovery into action and helps them rebuild with speed and dignity. In our funded and focused segment, when you are ready to step into your next level, ladies, clarity becomes your greatest advantage. A business compliance health check gives you that clarity, showing you exactly what needs tightening, strengthening, and elevating inside your business so you can confidently pursue bigger opportunities. It sharpens your focus, restores your drive, and reminds you that your vision deserves structure, funding, and serious momentum. This is how you prepare yourself, not just to grow, but to rise. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, in Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar is reassuring citizens that, as a nation, they are not at risk of any aggression by Venezuela, nor are they blindly following the United States or CARICOM. Sherilyn Lewis reports.
I remember as an obstetrician gynecologist in my later years wondering why do we still do testing for syphilis because it had become so less frequent, but now there's a re-emergence.
Health Minister Dr. Lakram Burrow said it was once thought to be nearly eradicated, but syphilis has made a re-emergence in TNT with an upsurge in cases in recent years. Syphilis is a sexually transmitted infection or STI that can cause serious health problems without treatment. Speaking to reporters after the official handing over ceremony of telehealth kits from PAHO WHO, Director of Women's Health Dr. Adesh Surju Singh noted that almost all pregnant women are tested for syphilis in the public and private sector.
And the past few years, we've seen a significant rise in the number of cases. For example, on average, we normally get around 30 to 40 cases per year. Last year, we saw over 100. This year, we are actually close to 200 cases in the community.
He said the ministry is looking at the possible reasons for the re-emergence.
There are a number of factors, including, of course, there are nationals and non-nationals. But we are, of course, as we heard today, we're collecting data to launch another strengthening exercise with the RHAs. Okay. But certainly, for the data we have for the past few years, I've been there since 2017, there's a significant rise.
Minister Burrow confirmed that treatment resources are in place.
Dr. Sijusing mentioned that the treatment is penicillin, it's by way of an injection. And once the rise in cases became known, we've taken steps at the ministry to ensure that the availability of the penicillin injections and so on.
Dr. Surjit Singh warned that syphilis often goes undetected.
So it's not something that shows symptoms, especially in females. That's where the testing is. There are a few cases that are known to have syphilis even before pregnancy.
He stressed the devastating consequences for unborn children.
It can cause a miscarriage, fetal death, as well as long-term complications with the fetus, including mental development, different symptoms with the heart, joints, and so on. So it's a long-term issue.
He also noted that some women are missing critical care.
So one of the problems we found is that we are seeing a number of women who don't access care, both nationals and non-nationals, for whatever reasons. And that's really what we're working on, getting them for early antenatal care.
Minister Burrow emphasized the importance of early antenatal care, stressing that timely detection makes treatment simpler and far more effective. Sonolala, TTT News.
Antigua and Barbuda is pushing for fairer financing rules on the global stage as development partners signal growing support for the Multi-Dimensional Vulnerability Index, co-created by Prime Minister Gaston Brown. Junior Finance Minister Senator Dwayne George says the country's strong fiscal position is helping to make the case for small developing states. Samantha Simon reports.
In a post made on social media platform X, Prime Minister Kamal Prasad-Bisesa reminded that TNT is a sovereign country. The Prime Minister's statements follows a press conference held on Monday by former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. Prime Minister Prasad-Bisesa in her post said that Dr. Rowley's utterances are nothing to be concerned about and reaffirmed that the U.S. has never requested use of our territory to launch any attacks against the people of Venezuela. Trinidad and Tobago territory will not be used to launch any attacks against the people of Venezuela, and additionally, Prasad-Bisesa clarified that it was Dr. Rowley who signed an updated SOFA in 2024, which requires TNT to cooperate with the U.S. military in their training exercises in the region. Nonetheless, she added that our foreign policy is Trinidad and Tobago first. Further, the Prime Minister said Trinidad and Tobago has suffered tremendously under the weight of drug and gun trafficking and made it clear that her government will not shy away from supporting international partners who are committed to confronting this plague head-on. And on the topic of any aggression towards Venezuela or its nationals, the Prime Minister stressed that Trinidad and Tobago will not participate in any act that will bring harm to the Venezuelan people and that her administration will continue to have peaceful relations with the people of Venezuela. In conclusion, Prime Minister Prasad-Bisesa said the Trinidad and Tobago government will support the selection of leaders through free and fair democratic elections. Charlene Lewis, TTT News.
Health officials in Trinidad and Tobago are raising the alarm as syphilis is making a troubling comeback. Nearly 200 cases have already been recorded this year, a sharp rise that Health Minister Dr. Lakram Badu says is especially worrying for pregnant women and newborns. The minister notes that syphilis was once close to eradication, but recent years have seen a steady and concerning resurgence. More details from TTT News.
Antigua and Barbuda concluded a series of high-level meetings at the 2025 IMF World Bank annual meetings, where small island states advocated for better access to climate financing. Senator Dwayne George, who represented the country as part of the Ministry of Finance's delegation, says development partners are moving closer to adopting the Multi-Dimensional Vulnerability Index.
We have tourism. Majority of all the small island states' main industry is tourism. And if we're affected by these shocks, it does what to our tourist industry? It significantly drops our tourist industry. So we have to make provision, and they know that they have to make provision for the small islands because we are vulnerable to these shocks.
The MVI assesses vulnerability across multiple dimensions, including economic exposure, environmental risk, and climate pressure, rather than relying solely on per capita gross national income. George says small states face recurring shocks every cycle, from hurricanes to floods and earthquakes.
After these shocks, we need to rebuild. How are we going to rebuild after these shocks? When then now we have the lack of resources, we have lack of population because we're small, we have a lack of skilled workers because we're also small. How are we going to bounce back from these shocks? This is where the World Bank and the IMF comes into play with these programs with climate resilient programs and climate resilient funds to help the small islands bounce back, and not only bounce back in a timely manner.
George says Antigua and Barbuda was cited in the meetings as an example other countries should follow, with consistent economic growth and sustainable debt management. Samantha Simon, ABS News.
In sports, Steve McLaren has resigned as head coach of the Reggae Boys following Jamaica's failure to automatically qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Speaking with the media following the game, he shared his gratitude to supporters and expressed confidence that the team can still succeed.
I've always said that leadership is a service. That's what we do. And tonight, I think I best serve this team by stepping aside and allowing someone else to take this team forward, which I know they'll succeed in March and in the future.
Tuesday's goalless draw with Curacao meant the visitors booked their ticket for the first time, while the Jamaicans will now be forced into March's Inter-Confederation playoffs.
There's so much talent and ability on this island and in the diaspora that it's only a matter of time. Things are developing, that they will succeed. So I thank you, Jamaica. I will be forever grateful to have led the Reggae Boys.
Jamaica will now await their opponent for the Inter-Confederation playoffs, where they could meet either Iraq, DR Congo, Bolivia, or New Macedonia. And that's it for the news on PBCJ. Remember, we are the People's Station.